Hello, hello, hello. I'm still getting all the chat stuff going, getting everything. I know we need our Discord link, so I'm grabbing that. If you guys are new, we have a free Discord. We have a lot of free patterns. We collaborate in there, so I will throw that link in the chat so anyone that comes in has it.
https://discord.gg/m8vqwta7.
I will also pin it so that stays at the top for the entire lesson that we have today. And I know I'm waiting for a lot of people to show up, but we're going to be making our first Christmas project for the year. I know it's a little bit early. We haven't even hit Halloween yet. If you guys are those people where you think it's a sin, I am sorry, but at the end of the day, I am one of those people that always ends up waiting till the last minute, and I refuse to have that be what is going on this year. But this is the texture we're going to be teaching. So it is a zigzag style. I am going to be writing this up and listing it on my Etsy, so if you want the PDF, that will be coming in the next couple weeks. You can do a lot of different styles with it. Obviously for Christmas I'm doing red and white, but you guys may not have that at home, and that is okay. You guys can use any colors. I actually have started some with I'll grab it and show you. I have a few with some other colors that I have been starting, and it looks really pretty. So this one I'm actually doing with scrap yarn, and I'm literally just taking whatever yarn I have that kind of coordinates, and I'm combining it together to make what I hope is going to end up becoming a very pretty scarf. As you can see, I didn't have much white. That's okay. Hello, Mrs. Detman. Can you hear me loud and clear, since you are my first victim in here? So yeah, this is what we're going to be going through. We're going to be doing the scarf. I'm going to be showing you guys how to finish it. I saved a lot of the last steps on this one to do live with you, so that you guys would be informed on how to finish it. And we are going to be adding fringe, and then I'll work through the basics. I'm not going to go through all the threads while we're live, but I will work through the basics just in case you are super new and you don't know how to weave in ends. I'll also teach you guys a few of those things. Can you hear me, Mrs. Detman? I need to make sure before I really dive in. Yes, okay.
Is yelling at me to watch something else, lol.
Heck no, Techno! You're about to learn a lot. So awesome. I'm glad you're here. I know a few other people are going to be joining. What do you need? I'm mostly doing this for anybody who's going to be joining after the fact, so I know you don't always stitch with me because you've got the minion chaos. But what you guys need is going to be yarn. You guys can do one solid color. You guys can mix colors. You can mix as many colors as you want. So whatever yarn you have, if you are mixing yarn, make sure it's the same thickness. You don't want to be mixing a worsted weight with a DK or a thread, because it will make your project start doing this, and you don't want that. Technically, you can use any hook that you want. It doesn't really matter. The hook that I'm using today, if you want to try to stay consistent, is an I, which is a 5.5 millimeter. To give you an idea on the size, this ends up being a very thick scarf, but because it is, I'm dropping everything. I think you guys can probably hear the randomness going on. Because it's a very wide scarf, that can be intimidating for a lot of people, because some people really hate the feeling. As you customize things, you can always choose to make it more narrow, but because it's a lacier thing, when it crumples up, it's not going to be as thick as some other scarves, because it's a little bit more of an open weave. So it is about 10 inches wide, and then I've left room for fringe, and that's what we're going to be diving into. So if you do a bigger hook, that was the short.
He's going to have my phone, lol. So random messages incoming.
Sweet! Well, at least it's going to keep the chat moving, right? Oh, God bless the minions. But anyway, if you use a larger hook, obviously this could get a little bit larger. You might have some bigger gaps in between. If you use a smaller hook, you're going to have the reverse effect, where this is going to be a little bit thinner, and these gaps in between are going to be much tighter. So take that for what you will. You may intentionally want to do that, because you can always customize it that way. But for the sake of this, we're going to be starting with a 5.5 millimeter. British, oh goodness, he really is going to be random. British Rightus. What the heck, Mrs. Devon? Are you teaching? Anyway, Grace, when you get in here, you're going to have to let me know, because I know I'm kind of waiting for you. And we're about to get started. We are about to get started. Grab your yarn, grab your hook, grab your water, ladies and gents. And this is what we're going to be teaching. Is there anybody that needs me to hold tight? Oh wow, this is going to be interesting in case you're new. Or in case you're coming in a little late, Mrs. Dutman's kid has the phone. So we're going to get some random comments throughout the day. It's going to be great. It'll be great. It'll be great. Alright, well, I don't see Grace yet. I don't want to keep holding things up. But if you are stitching with me, throw it in the chat because I don't want to leave you behind. And I've texted them so they know I'm here. Okay. And if you haven't turned on your notifications, make sure you do that because, yeah.
Did F gave F.
And also, as you guys can tell, if you write a comment in the chat, it will read it out loud. That is for me, not you, because I am often face first into a project and counting stitches, and the last thing I want to do is miss your comments. But if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate. It is free to use the chat. Just go ahead and throw them in there, and I will be happy to assist. So for right now...
BBD, FB, dub, BC, ended, feud, indicated, ended, J.
Oh, Mrs. Dutman. This is going to get interesting. For right now, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to get started. I start with the color red. If you guys are doing 2 colors, we're going to do 6 rows of red, 3 rows of white. 6 rows of red, 3 rows of white. If you end up doing a variety of colors like the scrap yarn project that I did, you can obviously change that as often as you want. Just keep in mind the more that you change colors, the more you're going to have to weave in those ends. So just be prepared for that. I am going to leave a little bit of a long tail because when I add my fringe, I'm going to hide it in with that and then I can cut it to the same length. And just to make it easier and make sure I don't have to weave in an extra end, I don't want to cut it go too short because I'm not going to leave that. If I have fringe that's longer, it'll stand out. So then I'd be obligated to weave in another thread. Again, I am like addicted to efficiency, so I kind of go extreme when it comes to it. Just work with me. But you're going to start by chaining 63. Okay, so we are going to be counting a little bit today. I apologize. Let's see if I actually can get through 63 without flubbing up anything. And then we will start our zigzag pattern. The first row is different than the rest of the rows, but once I get you in the repeat, you'll get it.
To give you a break. Sounds like Jane is glitching, LOL.
I know, it's almost like a remix.
Joy will catch you when I get home.
No worries, Mrs. Dutman. Take care of the minions. Alright, 63, ladies and gents, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. We're close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. And we need 3 more, but I've got this little knot that's getting in my way. Thank God it's not tight yet. That's what she said. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Alright, it looks like a long chain, right? Well, keep in mind, as we keep going, it's going to zigzag, so it is going to shrink up. So if you're freaking out right now and you're like, oh my God, this is really wide, like, calm down. It's gonna end up tight, you know, crinkling in. So let's go with it. Now we're going to do our first double crochet is going to be the 3 chains. So our second double crochet is going to go into the 4th stitch, and you're going to yarn over and work that double crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. Okay? Then you're going to chain 3. Remember, this row is different than all the other rows. So you're going to chain 3, you're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to work 2 double crochets into that 4th chain. So yarn over, insert your hook, and double crochet. You're pulling up 2 until you have 1 chain left on the hook. Yarn over, go back in the same stitch, pull up 1, 2, 2. Again, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be our first peak at the top. So now you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 more double crochets. So all of that's going in the same stitch. 1. Here's our second. Chain 3. And back in the same stitch. 1 and 2. Perfect. So you see that first start. Now we're going to chain 3, skip 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Going back in with 2 double crochets.
High waving hand sign.
Hello, Purple Crochet. How are you? Welcome, welcome. So we've got 2 double crochets. Again, chain 3, skip 3. There's our chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going into the 4th because we've skipped 3 with 2 double crochets. This is the bottom point of our zigzag. So now that we're here, we're going to skip 5, do not chain, and that's what will create this pivot point. So we're going double crochet into the 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're skipping. We're going into the 6th with 2 more double crochets. And now you're seeing the second part of that zigzag. So up, down, and we're going to keep going. So chain 3, skip 3 again. Oops, I can't grab my yarn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 double crochets. Okay, chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. We're skipping those 3. And we are now, again, in our top point. So we're doing 2 doubles, chain 3, 2 doubles. So here's our first double, second, chain 3, and go back in. If you guys are new here, feel free to ask any questions that you have in the chat. This is a pop-up live, but it will be available for replay. So if you bookmark it and do all the things and you want to try this when you come back to it because you're like, oh, I just happened to stumble by and I want to learn, all of them get dropped into the Get Hooked playlist, so I will make sure that's available for replay. I have all my old other classes in there too, so there's a ton of free tutorials for you. Oh goodness, we've got another knot. We're having a day with knots today. Just fine. It's fine. It's all going to be just fine. Alright, let's keep going with this. So now we've got a chain 3, skip 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Going into the 4th with 2 double crochets. One, 2, 3. We're skipping 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And going into that with 2 double crochets. This is another place where we've got to decrease because we're now at the bottom again. So we're going to skip 5. Do not chain up here because we need to cinch it in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going into the 6th with 2 double crochets. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're skipping those 3. And 2 double crochets. The next row is going to be much more exciting, I promise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we've got our top point. So 2 doubles, chain 3. and then 2 more doubles. Alright, we're at that last section. So 1, 2, 3, skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3, 2 doubles, chain 3. You should be able to skip 3, but something tells me I still need to add 1 more chain or something, because 63 is not working, so I'm just going to slide this right into that end. 2 doubles into that last stitch. So maybe I'm supposed to chain 64. Do you know how many times I have double counted that? But if you're in that same position, it's fine. As you can tell, you're not going to be able to see. Don't forget, we're also going to have fringe there, so we're good. We're good. Alright, so I'm just double checking my stuff, making sure it all lines up correctly, and we're good. Now, we're going to start row 2. We're going to keep the same color, so chain 3 and turn. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets in each of these spaces, and then we're going to do something else in between these double crochets. So start with 2 double crochets into that chain 3 space, and 2. You're going to chain 1, going in between, so you're not going on top of the stitches. You're going to find the 2 double crochets and you're going to split the defense, okay? You're going in between those 2 double crochets with a slip stitch. So you're going to insert your hook, pull that loop through, and pull it through the rest. And then chain 1 again. Back into here, 2 double crochets. I know it doesn't look like much, but get ready. When we do the color change, you're going to start seeing what this actually does, and it's really awesome. So we're back at these 2 double crochets. You're going to chain 1. We're doing the slip stitch again. Split the defense. Slip stitch. Pull through all those loops, and then chain 1. We're in that corner stitch, so that's 2 double crochets, followed by chain 3 and 2 double crochets. That is what you're going to always do in every top corner of the zigzag. And you're starting to see some of the texture coming through, but you'll see more as we keep going. Alright, we're right here again, so chain 1, slip stitch in between, and then chain 1 again. Into the chain 3 space, you're doing 2 double crochets. Chain 1, slip stitch, and chain 1. Back here, now we're at this pivot again. I want you to realize what's going on. We're going to do 2 doubles, 2 doubles. There's no chains in between. So you're going to ignore these little segments right here, because that's how you're going to keep creating that decrease is what you're really doing, but it helps you create the zigzag. So 2 double crochets here. Jump all the way over and do 2 double crochets over here. And then you're left with something that looks like that. So now, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and again, 2 double crochets. This is the row you're going to be doing for the rest of everything, but I'm going to keep going because I want to show you guys the color change. I also want to show you guys the space is slightly different as you keep going. So 2, at this section you're doing 2 double crochets, chain 3, and another 2 double crochets. Alright, let me get more yarn. We're going to finish this row. Alright, every time we approach this, we're slip stitch, we're doing our chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and every time we get to a chain 3 space, we're doing our 2 double crochets. we're back here, so chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and we're at that bottom corner again, so doubles, doubles. We're going to jump across. 2 doubles, jump all the way over and do directly another 2 doubles. Alright, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and we are back at the top corner, which gets another 2, chain 3, 2. So 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 more double crochets. We're back at this, so chain, slip stitch, chain, 2 double crochets. Now one thing you're going to find really weird that we're about to show you, chain, slip stitch, chain, 2 double crochets. The edges on this pattern aren't straight. I forgot to show you guys that, and I don't want to freak you out right here. So one thing you'll notice is the edges, they're straight, like they have an edge, but it's got a texture to it. So I don't want you to panic. It'll look really good. But I know it kind of caught me off guard for a little bit too, because I was like, oh my god, I have to minimize it. I have to have a straight edge. And you don't. You don't. It looks really good. So chain, 3, and turn. That's how you're going to end this. 1, 2, and 3. Now I want to do 6 rows of the red, so I'm going to keep going. But where do I start? We're going to start. These are now the spaces. These are now the spaces where we're going to do our 2 double crochets. It's under the slip stitch. And then you're going to be looking for your next slip stitch to go in between those 2 double crochets. So that's where you're going to be stitching into, and I'll walk you through it. First off, taking a sip of water. Hopefully you guys got yours. Okay. So this first right here is where we're going with 2 double crochets. 1, and see how I'm going right under the slip stitch. I'm going all the way under, and I'm going back in between those 2 doubles from down below. Then I'm going to chain 1, find those 2 double crochets, there they are, go in between them, and do a slip stitch. Do you see how we're already in the repeat? Slip stitch, and another chain 1. Right here is where we're going to do our next set of double crochets. So 2, 1, and 2. Chain 1, find those 2 double crochets, and you're going in between them. Slip stitch, chain 1. Now here's where it gets fun, because we're back at that corner, which means we do the same thing we've been doing on every row. 2 double crochets, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double crochets. Alright, we're back in our little segment. So chain 1, slip stitch in between the doubles, chain 1, 2 double crochets. So it looks kind of intimidating, but go slow and really pay attention to where you're stitching. Again, chain 1 in between the 2 doubles, slip stitch, chain 1, and now I'm going right here below the slip stitch from the previous row with 2 double crochets. And you'll start seeing why that's important when we bring in our color 2 or color B. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to chain right there. We are at that bottom of the zigzag, so I've got to do the 2 doubles that I've already done, and I'm going to jump over and skip all of these stitches and go right under this slip stitch right here to do my 2 doubles and continue creating that zigzag right there. So do our second double, chain 1, we're going to slip stitch in between, chain 1, 2 double crochets. I'm going to pick up the speed a little bit because I got to get to row 6 so I can show you how we change colors. But if anyone has any questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. I do a weekly live class every Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We are going to be completing the beanie we've been working on. We're finishing this scarf today. I will walk you through all the steps you need to completely finish it, and you'll be good to go on that. And Tuesdays I do pop-up live, so you don't always know what time it's going to be. I usually aim for around 1 to 2 o'clock. Tends to fit into my schedule pretty solid, but make sure to turn on your notifications, subscribe, and do all the things. You'll be notified. All of my classes also drop in to the Get Hooked playlist, so if there's other projects that you've been wanting to try that you see, there's a ton of free tutorials in there. Alright, we're at the bottom again, so I'm going to jump directly over, no chains in between, and I'm doing the 2 double crochets on that next, under that next slip stitch space. Chain 1, in between the 2 doubles right here, slip stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And the following rows are going to get a lot easier because now it's starting to kind of like, it's almost like you train the yarn, and then once the yarn knows what you want to do for all the rows, it kind of like just does it. I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully someone out there knows what I'm talking about. 2, chain 3, followed by 2 double crochets. Chain 1. We're going in between those again. I am going a little bit faster, but if anyone needs me to re-demonstrate part of it, I can. I just know I broke it down pretty solid, and I'll go slow again once we switch back to the other color so you can really see what's going on. And then our last stitch on every row are these 2 doubles. I know it feels really weird because you don't feel like you've gotten all the way to the edge, and I can't tell you how many times I have accidentally turned over here. So make sure you get all the way to the edge, which is on that last slip stitch. I know it doesn't look like it because you have this, but remember, we're going to have that ruffle going along the side. So promise, just trust the process. You've got it. Alright, chain 3 and turn. 1, 2, 3. If you need to look, how many rows have I done? You're going to start here, 1, 2, 3. We want 6. So we're going to do that, and then I'll show you how we change to white. And then you'll be good to go, and you'll start seeing the real texture coming through. So again, our first 2 doubles are under that slip stitch. 1, 2. You have something that looks like that. Chain 1. You're finding the 2 double crochets right here. You're going in between them with a slip stitch, and then you're chaining 1 again. 2 double crochets. Chain 1, slip, chain 1. At this, we're doing 2 doubles, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double crochets. Chain 1. Slip stitch, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1. Where are my doubles? They're a little hard to see sometimes. There we go, chain, slip stitch, and 2 doubles, but this is where we have to skip because we are at the bottom of our zigzag. So I'm going to be jumping directly over here with 2 more double crochets. Chain 1, slip, double, oops, double, double. And we're at the top corner again, 2 doubles, chain 3, 2 doubles. Going back down. back at the bottom, so 2 doubles. Skip a ton, 2 doubles over here. Let's get more yarn. And this yarn, if you guys are looking for a good red and white, this is a really good one. I use this for Santa hats. This is Pound of Love by Lion Brand. You can get it at Michael's. You can get it on Amazon. I know I have it linked in my link tree. That link is in the description. So if you're looking for a good, it's not the cheapest, but it's also not expensive. I think like a whole pound of yarn usually ranges around $13. And if you go to like places like Michael's and stuff like that, they often have a lot of coupons that you can use, and you can save a ton. I totally recommend it. I like their acrylic yarn because it's just a little bit softer than like your Red Hearts and stuff like that. Sometimes that yarn can get really coarse and it doesn't feel good to the skin. So when you're thinking about something you want to wear and be comfortable in, you know, I really like Pound of Love. It tends to be what I make a lot of my prototypes in because I feel comfortable selling items in it. It doesn't feel cheap. Big Twist, I've recently started using Big Twist, and that's another great one that I would recommend. 1, 2, 3, and we are turning. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 2 more rows before I can show you a color change. Two doubles, chain 1. But Big Twist is another one that's really soft. I had my first experience with it yesterday on our TikTok live. Oh, sorry, I thought I skipped a stitch. And it's a good one too. It's a good one too. I mean, you can use whatever yarn you get. And you guys know I go to thrift stores and I get yarn everywhere. So I work with what I got. I don't always have the luxury to be picky. Which is fine. But just so you know, it doesn't have to hold you back. You do not have to spend a kidney to do this crochet thing that we love. Oop, oop, oop. Don't drop your loops. We've done our 2 doubles. We're jumping over. And if you're watching this after the live is live, because I know that all of these are available for replay, you can always fast forward this. I am going to show you guys a color change though, so you don't want to miss that. And then I'm also going to show you guys how I add fringe. And then for those of you who don't know how to weave in ends, I'll also show you really good techniques for that, because I have another scarf that is basically done that I will demonstrate it with. And this will be 2 Christmas gifts that I've gotten out of the way, which is great. And anytime you guys are watching this, let me know. Hello, Miss Becky. How are you? If any of you guys are already working on Christmas projects, let me know. Let me know. I can't be the only one that's working on them this early. I know us crafters always try to plan stupid ahead of time. How you been, Becky? How's work treating you?
That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you. And I know it curls and it crinkles a lot right now. When you guys block it, it'll relax a lot. And the weight of it too will relax it. And if you don't know how to block, I will have to record a video on the variety of ways to block.
Long, LOL.
Oh no. But blocking, my favorite way to block is to take an iron, hover over my piece, and just do heavy steam. A lot of other people will get blocking, they're called blocks, and they have like pins coming up on a board, and you can latch these loops over the pins so you can stretch it. But it just really helps the stitches settle, and you'll see that your project looks more finished. So once you do that to this stitch, it won't crinkle like what you're seeing. Alright, last row with red, and then we're teaching you guys how to color change. 1, 2, 3, turn. Double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I want 6 rows of red, so 1 more row. Here we go. Let's get a little bit extra yarn so I don't have to worry about tension. I see a couple new faces. If any of you guys have questions, let me know. This is a pattern that we're using to create a scarf. I will be writing this pattern. But you have the free tutorial. I've walked you through it, and this will be available for replay after. So subscribe, do all the things, and you can make your own. All of my previous classes are also available for replay. So if any of you guys want free tutorials, you are in the right place to learn crochet. Blah! 1, 2, 3. And when I change colors, I will most definitely slow down again so you guys can see everything that's actually going on.
Love that.
Thank ya! This is a really fun texture, Becky. I want to do something else with it too, but I don't know what yet. And we're at the bottom, so I've got to jump across without chaining. Don't forget. And then chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, double, double. 1, 2, 3. 2 doubles, chain, slip stitch, chain, 2 doubles, chain, slip stitch, chain. This will be 2 doubles, and we've got to finish our zigzag. So jump over, and 2 more doubles over here. Chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, slip chain, 2 double crochets, chain 1, slip, chain 1, 2, 3, 2, chain 1, double, or sorry, slip stitch, 2 doubles. Now when you get to the very last stitch, you're not going to finish it, so don't go too far ahead. Here's our 2 doubles. And here's what you're going to do. Stop. You're not finishing those last 2. Why? Because we're going to try to make a cleaner transition by pulling through with the next color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have our 6 rows. We now can cut. You don't need to leave a super long tail because you just need enough where you can comfortably put it on a yarn needle, and then you can actually thread it. If you leave it too short, it can be hard to use that. If you go too long, you're just going to cause you're going to accidentally pick up loops or yarn and stuff like that, and it can cause issues. So you're going to pull through. So what I did is I put my new yarn here, color B. I'm holding it just so it has kind of a similar tension as if it was not loose. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through. So I'm finishing the stitch with color B is how they would word it in a pattern. I am a knot person. Some people are very adamant about not tying knots. As you can tell, I'm just going to go loose. I don't want to pull tight because these threads are loose. But I am a knot person. I get paranoid. It's going to be worn. I want it to stay. I don't want it to fall apart. So we are going to tie it, and I will walk you through how to weave in those ends in a little bit. So no different. We're going to continue the repeat, but now we're with a new color. What's up, Liz? Chain 3 and turn. You're not losing the edge. You're not losing anything. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. The only difference is we're with a different color. So you're going to see things more. But it's going to make that texture start popping, which is what I love. So now you're going to be able to see more. Here's that chain or that slip stitch. And those are those 2 doubles we went in between. You're going to work your first 2 double crochets into that. Then you're going to chain 1. And you're looking for the 2 doubles to slip stitch in between. So it's going to create a really good texture. 2 double crochets into this space. Chain 1. In between the doubles, you're slip stitching. And chain 1. No different, guys. We're in a repeat. So this is all the same. 2 double crochets. Chain 3. 2 double crochets. Uh-oh. Nobody noticed. Chain 1 in between, work that slip stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and we're at that bottom, so we're going to do the 2 doubles, and then we're going to jump over and do 2 more doubles. Chain 1, slip, chain 1, and doubles. And this color, I'm going to be doing 3 rows of this color. My whole goal was to mimic a candy cane, so that's what I'm doing. Again, you guys can change colors as frequently or as not frequently as you want. Just keep in mind, the more times you change colors, the more ends you're going to have to weave in. Some people don't care about that. Some people are like, heck no, tech no. I don't want to deal with that. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame anyone. We do a lot of tedious stuff with crochet. That's what makes it such a magical art, I guess. What I should have done is cut some strands of this white so I can show you guys the fringe without having to finish using the white, but that didn't happen. So here we are. My dog is dreaming, so if you hear that whimpering in the background, she is having an incredible dream, apparently. And we're going to finish this row. But you can see how it's overlapping. We're going to do, I think I'm going to have to do the 3 rows together because I need to cut the red. So we'll do 2 more rows together, and I'll leave you to your demise on that, and I'll show you guys how to finish with the fringe and everything else. Ending on 2 double crochets, chain 3, and turn. See how that edge is coming out? It's rippled. That's okay. That's the finish that we want. If anything, it creates kind of a border for you as we go. So don't freak out about that. I know it kind of threw me off for a while, and then I realized, oh, it's kind of pretty, so I just rocked it. Going back in with double crochets, and this is where you're seeing that true shift, because now you have 2 rows. The second row is what really solidifies the pattern and the overlap, because you get this final overlap on this stitch right here. And it almost kind of mimics a snowflake. That's why I really liked this. 1, 2, 3. Going back down this way. And here we are at the bottom, so we've got to skip a ton, do not chain. And there we go. Sometimes when you're doing that bottom section, you're going to feel the need to really tighten how you hold your yarn because you feel like you need to help close the gap. Don't overcomplicate it. Just let the hook do its work. You don't need to try to like cinch it in yourself or force it. It will be fine. And the more rows you get, it just emphasizes that zigzag. But don't tire your hand out. It's not worth it. You're not going to end up ruining it. Chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and doubles. And here's our doubles here. If you guys are new here, feel free to ask any questions. We also have a link for our Discord. I have it pinned in the chat. We have a lot of free patterns in there. I also do a lot of my pattern testing in there. So if anyone wants in, it is free. You're more than welcome to join. We have a pretty big crochet community in there. We exchange patterns, ideas, swap different yarn and other tools. So if you want to get connected with a lot of stitchers, that's really the place to be. That link is pinned in the chat at the top. 2, 3. If you have any questions at all, let me know. We have another class Thursday. That's a day after tomorrow. In case you're one of those that wakes up every day and doesn't know what day it is. Not throwing myself under the bus at all. But we will be finishing our beanie that we've been working on together. So that'll be Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And all of my classes are available for replay. So if you just want to binge a lot of different projects, every time I go live, it immediately drops into the channel to be available for replay. We are chaining 3 and turning. This is going to be our last row. So we're doing 6, 3, 6, 3. So you're going to go back and forth. Or again, if you're doing your own pattern, do however much changing you want. After this, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do fringe. I've got my other scarf that is basically done that I'm going to show you how I do the fringe on. And then I'll show you how to weave in ends. And then you can just save this video and you literally have a full tutorial from start to finish. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I can cut this white yarn so I can use it for the fringe. One, 2, 3. 2 doubles. And we're going back this way, so chain 1, single, chain 1, I'm not single, slip stitch, Jen, slip stitch, 2 doubles. And I know this looks like an intermediate texture, but in all honesty, if you go slow and really just make sure you're doing what you see on the screen, it's not super difficult. These stitches are beginner stitches. It's just all about where you're putting them. All you're using is a slip stitch, a chain, and double crochets. That's all that's in this pattern. It's funny to me how people think they need to stay in single crochet land and never venture because they're afraid they're going to mess it up.
Just join the Discord channel.
Oh, perfect! I actually have it brought up. I can approve you. Boom. You're approved. Life support is here. Alright, now we're going back. Chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1. And here we're at the bottom, so we've got to skip a ton, so 2 double crochets, do not chain, skip a ton, go over here with your 2 double crochets. I promise when I write the pattern, I will have something better than skip a ton. Alright. When we get to the end of this row, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to move to the fringe. I just wanted both colors available for the fringe. If you guys have a book or a pencil box as my tool of choice on this, you may want to grab it. And I'll show you why. Now, I'm not going to finish this double crochet because, again, I am going to be finishing it with color A and switching back to my 6 rows of red. So let's leave this and set this aside. And now let's bring up the one that I have that's already done. And you're going to want to kind of measure the length. I go until it's kind of hitting below my hips. I'm tall, I do like my stuff longer, and I also am accounting for the fact that there's going to be about 3 or 4 inches of fringe. So you're going to keep going. Let's see, do I have a length for you guys? I can go ahead and measure. Let's use Mr. Measuring Tape. Yep, he has a name. I'm about 60 inches long total. So now what I'm going to do is I want to line all of this with fringe, and I want both red and white in my fringe. So I use a pencil box. Why? Because it is the easiest way I know to create a lot of really good fringe. The length of my fringe when I use it, you can also use a book, a planner works really good. I'm aiming for about 21 inches when I wrap it around. So we have our 2 strands. I'm going to pin it down with my finger, and I'm just going to wrap it around. And I probably should have the yarn coming from the opposite side, but for right now, and demonstrative purposes, we're going to keep rolling with it. Now, you'd want to do a lot more. I'm just trying to save us all time because I know that you guys get the drill. And you're just going to cut it across. This will make them all relatively the same length, and you can at least quickly make your fringe and do what you need with it. Now, when you have your fringe cut, how are you going to adhere it to the shawl? Now, or the scarf, sorry, I make a lot of shawls. I like to do about 4 strands at a time. I'm going to grab 2 white and 2 red. You guys can do whatever you feel like you need to. I'm going to then fold all of these strands in half, and I'm going to hold on to that little middle point, okay? Grab a hook, doesn't matter which one or what size. Now, I'm going to start in the center point, but then I'm going to actually find places up here and work up to this part. So I'm going to actually spread them all out. But I'm going to start by inserting my hook into that center point, grabbing all my strands, pulling it through, and then I'm going to grab all those strands and pull it through again. Then you can just cinch it all a little tight, and there you go. So I'll show you guys one more. I'm going to grab, well, maybe 2 more. I don't know how many strands I actually cut. Grab your 4 strands. You're pulling them all together, folding them in half. I'm going to pick a spot. I don't want them too close. This is all a stylistic thing, so you guys can play. If you like them really close, you may want to go in between every stitch. I like them to be kind of spread out, so I'm going to go on in between the doubles right here that I have, and then here's my slip stitch. So then I'm going to do the next one here, and on the other side of the doubles, on the other side of the slip stitch. So that's just where I feel like it naturally needs to fall. So I'm just making sure there we go, sliding that in there. Grabbing all my loops, pulling it down, like so, grabbing all the loops, and pulling them through. Pull tight. And you're just going to do that all the way across. Then after that, you're going to notice your fringe will zigzag. It is up to you if you want to cut them all across and keep them straight. I am personally going to leave them zigzagged. I think it adds a dimension. So you're going to keep doing those all the way across. I'll do one more with you, and then I'll show you how to weave in some ends, and then you guys have everything that you need to make this in whatever color choices you want, and a million of them. And don't forget to tag me in it, because you know I like to see all your guys' work. Or you can even post it in the Discord, because we have a lot of people that post that stuff in there too. So there's my slip stitch. I want to go on the other side of my slip stitch, right in there, grabbing all those loops, pulling them through, all those loops, pulling them through. And then just pull tight. Every now and then there we go. So you're going to keep doing that. All right. I've never woven in ends before, Jen. No problem. Best way I got is to get yourself a set of yarn needles. If you don't have them, this pack costs like $6 or $7. I have the link in my link tree. I love these ones because they're metal. The plastic ones I tend to break. I have very strong hands and I like to shove it through as much yarn as I possibly can just because I want to be efficient. The metal ones do really good. The other thing is the plastic ones, I can show you one. You'll notice they have a very, very wide head. Now on one hand, oh my god. They have a very large eye of the needle, and if you're trying to put yarn through that, that can be easier. However, if you're trying to use buttons, you're going to find that that's actually annoying, and it doesn't go through some of the tighter stitches if you're stitching through some areas. So I recommend the metal ones. They are my favorite. And you're just going to haphazardly do this, like, there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason. A lot of people overthink it, but all you're going to start doing is get yourself hooked right there, and I want to make sure that the red goes with the red and the white goes in with the white so you can hide it. The whole point is to hide that yarn in the most inconspicuous way possible. So notice I didn't go through the white. I'm going back through and I'm working my way following the natural stitches to try to not create any more loops or textures, and I'm finding...
Hello.
And I'm just going into those natural stitches. Hello, Erica, how are you? And I'm going to try to get to a cluster. Clusters are my favorite place to be when I'm trying to weave in ends because you have a lot of stitches that you can just go back and forth under. And you don't need to go far. Why do you not want to go far from the point? Because if you go far, then you have something that can kind of expand and whatnot as you wear it, and it'll naturally work out that yarn. So I'm not going to go any further. I want to go back and forth in this small spot so it doesn't have a place to stretch. And if it doesn't have a place to stretch, this yarn should stay put and be left alone very nice. What up, Letty?
Making dinner. I'm great.
What are you having for dinner? And I'm just going back and forth, always going over one strand, because if you just go back and forth in the same spot, it will naturally just undo itself. I came out here, I'm going to go in over here, so there's a strand that keeps it from undoing. And then you can just cut it. You can cut it close because it is locked in, and it's tied off. So the white's no different. I just want to make sure that I'm not going into the red spaces with the white. I'm going to work my yarn in to the white spaces because you want to minimize how much shows at all times. And I'm aiming for a cluster so I can do the exact same thing and work back and forth without having to do a lot of thinking because I've got a cluster where it'll all fit in.
Hello. Just came across your live. Oh, it's okay if I join in.
Oh, I love it! We're getting close to the end of this project, but the good news is it will be available for replay, so if you like what you see, you can definitely make it. All of my lives get saved in the Get Hooked playlist.
Smoked sausage potatoes and collard greens.
Oh, that sounds really good. Alright, and then you'll cut this. So you're going to keep, this is why I say, the more you change colors, the more you're going to end up having to weave in. So choose your battles. If you don't want to change colors a lot, don't. But when you do, you get more of these overlapping textures, and that's what you don't want to gyp yourself of either. So I'm going to leave you guys to your own demise. You have the repeat. You know how to add fringe. You don't have to add fringe. You can leave this as it is, and once you block it, it'll be a little bit nicer, and you'll be good to go. You know how to weave in your ends to finish getting this polished look. So now it's up to you guys what you want to do with it. So I recommend you play around with a lot of different color options. This one I'm literally taking all my scrap yarn and I'm throwing it all together. So this will be a fun one when I'm done. But if you're mixing yarn, remember you want to try to keep the texture and the thickness of the yarn the same. So your weight should be similar. You don't want to mix DKs with your worsted and whatnot. So, but you guys now have everything you need to finish that project. I am going to end the live unless anyone has any questions. Once the live ends, it'll be available for replay. So make sure you guys save it, bookmark it, do all the stuff. I have another live class that we are wrapping up on Thursday where we started this beanie. Week 1 we did this. This is available for replay. Week 2 we did this. This is available for replay. And on Thursday I'm going to be showing you guys how to cinch it in and then make a pom-pom, and we'll now have this beanie done. This is going to be a Christmas gift. So this is my first Christmas project. I know it's super early. Don't hate me that I'm going so early into Christmas, but with the amount of stuff that I end up on my plate every year, I am not risking it for the biscuit. So this is going to be one of the many Christmas gifts that I have. I'm making 2, and then I might even make another one to raffle off to one of our lovely viewers, but I'm still figuring all that out. Any hoosers, okay, you guys have everything you need. If there's anything you need afterwards and you're watching this as a replay, throw it in the chat. I am a one-person show, so I will respond to it, but if I am a little delayed, be patient with me, please. Otherwise, I will see you on Thursday, and if you request anything, let me know. I found a few things that we can possibly make for the following Thursday. I've also got a Santa hat coming. I just want to make some fine-tuned things on it. So we've got a lot of fun tutorials going on. So if you guys have anything that you're looking for, throw it in the chat, because you guys know I try to keep you guys in mind with what you want to learn. And I think that covers everything. So the link for the Discord is in the chat. It is pinned. Anyone else gets in there, you are good to go. It is free. All of it will be still available after I end the live. But I will see you guys on Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. All right, guys. I love you. Have fun. Post what you create. Tag me as always.